I'd like to talk with you just a minute about the internet and online and things like that you use every day. I'm Dr. George Flynn, and this is InDepth TV. We're going to talk about the internet, the great things about the internet, and also some of the not so great things about the internet. First of all, shopping. We all love the convenience of shopping. You go online and go to one of the stores or go to one of the big platforms and you type in what you want and up comes the product. You don't have to search around for it. Up comes the product and up comes the exact color and you can check the prices. It makes it very convenient. It makes it very alluring. But with that convenience goes something that you don't have. What happens to the locally owned businesses? Well, they have less and less in the way of customers because they're going online. And the way some of the locally owned businesses have fought this is to put their stores online also. So remember, when you go online, when you find a product, see if you can just type in your zip code. And if you do type in your zip code and they come up with a business that is in your area, buy it from that business. So that the locally owned businesses, your friends and neighbors, the people that work and live in your community, so the community can stay thriving. That's what we're about, is keeping our community thriving rather than giving all of our business, all of our money, all of our commerce to one giant company. It's out there. You know it's out there. There are several of them out there, but let's focus on utilizing the locally owned businesses, the business people that you go to church with, the people you know, the people that are in your kids and their kids are in the same schools together. Let's give them a chance, because if we don't give them a chance, maybe they're not giving us a chance. So let's see if we can't focus on shopping. If you got to shop online, you can now. You can go to several grocery stores. You can order all of your things. You can drive up, pick them up, and leave. Because now, if you have delivery of certain things, there's what people call porch pirates. And they go around. Sometimes they follow the delivery trucks, and they'll just pick up the deliveries. They may have a uniform on, and they'll pick up the delivery and just actually take things from you. So let's weigh the positives and the negatives to online shopping. Next, we talk about the social aspect of it. And I know, we're talking about Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, the old ones, MySpace, all of these different social networks. And there are hundreds and hundreds of social networks out there. So you get on a social network and you develop friends from all around. You can be friends on that platform, but these friends can be all over the world. Now, you really don't know who these people are. They can sign up as anybody. They can sign up as a male or female, a certain age, another age. You don't know who the people really are, truly are. They can have a great picture, which they might take somewhere off the internet and put it in their what's called profile. But you think you have a lot of friends. Yet, on these networks, on these platforms, if you ask these people for $1, you might find you have 10 friends. Whereas if you make friends in the community, in your community, your friends and neighbors, a lot of people don't even know who their neighbors are. But if you make friends in your community, then that is more of a bond that you have. But before we get away from this, let's talk about bullying. Now, we all know that we don't like bullying, especially bullying in the schools or bullying in the workplace. But what about cyberbullying? That's right, bullying online, bullying on the platforms, Facebook, cyberbullying, texting, bullying, telling people they don't look good, they don't act right, they're not smart enough, they're not whatever enough. Bullying goes on online a lot. And you say, well, what can I do about it? Well, you've got to teach younger people, and this primarily goes for younger people, but it also goes for older people too. If you think just because you reach a certain age, you're not susceptible to bullying, you are. I mean, I look online sometimes and I see all these comments and people fighting against it. You know, there are a lot of episodes, and we'll see them in the news, of people committing suicide because of cyberbullying. And that's primarily young people, but some older people do it too. And the ones you hear about are a small fraction of those that really occur, in which cyberbullying is a major part. So there we have a negative of cyberbullying. Not only young people, but older people are susceptible to it. Anyone that is struggling with self-esteem, thinking, am I good enough? Am I bad enough? Am I smart enough? Am I dumb enough? Am I this enough? Cyberbullying, a cyberbully will tell you that you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not good looking enough. They'll come up with all kind of flaws that they think you have, and they might not even know you. Then again, they may know you very well. But a lot of it goes back to this very small niche of people at schools. And you know how people are at school when you're in the 4th grade, 5th grade, 7th grade, the different grades through high school. Cyberbullying goes on. What we need to do is teach younger people, teenagers, early 20s, you can always turn the internet off. You can always turn that device off, your computer off, your phone off. You can turn it off. You can change your number. You can change your address. You can change your Twitter handle. You can change, and you don't have to take part in cyberbullying. By taking part, I mean you don't have to be on the receiving end of it. Now, I hope none of you have ever been guilty of performing cyberbullying or telling someone really bad things about themselves, about them. So I hope you've never been a part of that. And if you have, well, you call them up, you go meet with them, and you apologize. You say, I don't know what I was doing. I may have said some bad things about you, but I certainly didn't mean them. And if you find out you were jealous of them, or you didn't like the grade they made a better grade than you, or they had more money than you, or they had more, if you found the jealousy in there, you just admit it. You know what it'll do? It will help you as much, or maybe even more, than it helps them. So let's watch out for that cyberbullying. If you've ever done it, apologize for it profusely and sincerely. If you've ever been a victim of it, forget it. Just forget it. Because it's here today and gone tomorrow. Networking. You know about a lot of people in the world. You may have a lot of followers, you may have a lot of Facebook friends or people like that, but do you know your own neighbors? Do you know your neighbors as well as you know these people online? I found that people online are likely to tell you things that your neighbors won't tell you because you've never asked. You've never shown that much interest in your neighbors. And these friends of yours may be from across the world, all over. You may never meet them, probably won't. But then you've shared things with them that you have not shared with your family, your neighbors, your friends, your people in your church, your people in your social group. What is this? Do you feel this anonymity? Do you feel anonymous online? Do you feel like, well, if you post something online, it's never going anywhere. It's there. Hard to get rid of it. People have erased things that they've posted, and somebody else will come up with what's called a screenshot, where you can't erase it, and they'll send out the screenshot, whereas you have tried to erase what you've posted. And make sure young people know this same thing. Whatever you put online pretty much stays online, pretty much stays in the online memory system. Well, what about physical dangers? Well, you say the internet came, a fist can't come through the screen and punch me in the face, or can it? We all know about texting and driving. Texting and driving do not mix in any way, shape, or form. But what about texting and walking? There was a study done, and they found that more injuries occur with texting and walking per mile than they did with texting and driving. There are about 11,000 serious injuries per year from walking and texting. There are other injuries of people walking and talking on the phone and not paying attention to where they're walking. They can step off a curb, injure an ankle. They can fall down, walk in front of a car, especially if you're wearing the headphones, the earphones, or the big headphones, what's called noise-canceling headphones. So you don't hear horns, you don't hear things, you only hear the music or the program or the telephone call. You don't hear what's going on outside of you, the warning signals. So I'm just trying to help you stay safe online. So texting and walking, talking on the phone may be okay, hands-free, but if your hands are tied up and you're trying to do something else while you're walking, while you're out in the public, while you're on a dangerous street, you may not pay any attention to a crack in the sidewalk or a raised place in the sidewalk and fall down. You may run into something. You may run into other people. So watch that. Please watch that. Online gaming. Now, people will say online gaming, oh, you mean games like that. Well, I'm talking about gambling. Online gambling is extremely, extremely addictive. So watch the online gambling. That's all I've got to tell you. Watch online gambling. And what about kids? What about the games, the harmless games? Well, there's some games there's one called Player Underground Battleground, Player Underground Battleground, that kids have been known to pick it up and get so addicted to it, more addictive than drugs, so addicted to it that they play for 24 hours on end without putting the phone or the tablet or the computer down or turning it off. So watch out. These people that design the games are designing them to be very addictive so that you'll stay on the game, stay playing the game longer and longer. So they're not innocuous little games. I think I've shown you some online advantages and disadvantages. It's up to you now to take action to stay safe online. I'm Dr. George Flynn. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.